Hey, welcome back, guys, to another edition of Factual Actual. We've had some great meetings up to this point, and I am really, really growing as a person because of it. Uh, uh, we had a we've had some really positive meetings and productive meetings the last 5, 6 weeks, and we're just keeping it going. Glad you're here. Uh, I'm going to take this time to turn it over to one of the founders, my son, Dwayne, and let him get this show started.
All right. Welcome everyone to another factual, actual, better way meeting of the mind. Today we have a special guest. We have my younger sister with us again. She's going to be here for part of the broadcast. She has some empirical data she wants to let the viewers know, and I think it deserves to be said. So we'll definitely get into that. Like I said, she has her t-shirt thing. She believes in the herbal natural way. So I mean, it's my sister. So what else? I couldn't expect anything else of her, you know what I'm saying, but having that natural path. So Arthariel, would you like to say anything before we get started?
No, let's just jump straight into it.
All right. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about current events, and one of the events that came up is this gun control or concealed weapons carry, or Texas want to do their thing, and New York want to do their thing, and of course they're complete opposite of each other. Like, let everybody have guns, or no, can't nobody have guns. We got an issue going on here, and I wanted y'all to opinion on that. While concealed carry holder, if I'm not correct, Arthariel, you know what I'm saying, licensed concealed holder, you know, and Baba, someone that's willing to protect his home. What are y'all opinions on this gun control? How do y'all feel?
Man, uh, being someone that owns guns and uh, believe that everyone should own a gun if they are in the right state of mind to have a gun. Uh, I think my views are. I've always felt like we should have the right to bear arms, and ain't got a damn thing to do with a constitution that doesn't include me anyway. So uh, I'm with Malcolm. You know, you know, I don't think we should we should not defend ourselves if we're being assaulted. And since someone's maybe assaulting me with a handgun, I'd like to even the table up a little bit. How they go? How they say? Uh, God created man, and Samuel Colt made them equal. Something to that effect, like that. I think it's just good sense in this society over here that you have access to a weapon. I really think you do.
Arthariel.
I think, as he said, that everybody that is in their right mind should have a gun, but I don't believe in gun control because you can't control it. You have people that start out in their right mind, and eventually something happens traumatic that takes them into another mind frame. So there's really no way to fully control that. But just to make sure you're safe in this situation, I do believe that you should have a gun in order to protect yourself. As many massacres and things that are happening, people just walking in grocery stores, people are just walking in schools and just killing. How can you send your child to school and want them to feel protected when all they got in between them is a wall and a door? The teachers can't have guns. The principal can't have guns. Not all school have security. So how can you send your child somewhere and ensure that they're protected?
There's no way. And you cannot safeguard. This is where I'm coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up indoctrinated just like everybody else. And, you know, my favorite superhero was Superman, who stood for truth, justice, and the American way. And I got old enough to realize that that was
Garbage.
garbage. That's a good word. That was garbage. And when the founding fathers founded the Constitution, it didn't include me or my ancestors. So, uh, and the problem, the contention we have today, we are trying to demand of our government to give us something they never promised us to begin with. So I think, aside from the Constitution, I'm not going to get in the Constitution. I'm not going to get in law. I'm not going to get in government because it doesn't include me. In fact, it works really hard to exclude me from the process. And what I've come to realize is this: the reason why you have the poor with you forever, as the Bible says, is because the rich will you have with you forever. And the reason why people are poor is because rich people make them that way. And I can show you scripture after scripture after scripture. If you are these United States of American Christians, which they've got a Christianity that's just totally different from everybody else in the world. But I digress. I'm going to say this: if one person, if one individual is not free, then nobody's free. And if you're going to let one other person have a gun, then everybody should have a gun if they're in the mental state to do so. And that has to do with how old they are and all that kind of stuff. But the point I guess I'm trying to get at is this: like Malcolm said, it's criminal. You know, when those boys got killed down in Mississippi, and they said it's criminal. That's criminal for you to go into a place amongst some very armed people and demand anything, and then tell you you're breaking the law if you defend yourself. So that's just criminal. Well, if I can't go in there able to defend myself, I'm not going there. So I believe in self-defense. So if that's a gun, if it's a knife, bazooka, you know, you should be able to defend yourself. And in this society, in America, uh, that just may mean having a gun. So I believe in self-defense. I really do.
So I, when we talk about self-defense, I completely agree with you. As far as gun control goes, though, what I see the biggest issue is with gun control, or whether somebody have a gun or not, is that you're trying to make laws. You're trying to be man, messing up, making laws for the masses, when a lot of things need to be on an individual basis. And you're trying to cut costs and say everybody the same. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. You're trying to put people in groups. You know, to be honest, I don't think every mentally unstable person should not be able to own a gun. I think some of them should, to be honest with you, because they are deemed mentally unstable doesn't mean they are mentally unstable and they shouldn't be able to fucking protect themselves, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think that should be on a case by case basis. And I don't think it should be some mass decision to say everybody should have a gun or everybody shouldn't. I think that they are needed, but I do think that you have to break it down a whole lot smaller than just if they are mentally stable. I mean, your definition of mentally capable to have a gun and my sister's version are probably different. Y'all both agree that somebody that is deemed mentally unstable shouldn't have a weapon, but y'all definition of that could be totally different, if you understand where I'm coming from with this. That is really my only issue with gun control. I'm not saying everybody should have a gun, and I'm damn sure saying everybody shouldn't. What I'm saying is that if you're going to say they don't, you need to have just the reasoning why they shouldn't, or just reasoning. I mean, the just reason why they should is because, hey, because I want to. Hey, I'm a grown man. I should, I'm an adult. I am a man. I'm not an American. I'm not a black man. I'm not African. No, I am a man. I am a woman. I am this person. If I want a gun, I should be able to have a gun, right? That should be the basics of it all to me. Now, if you psychotic, you probably don't need a gun. You know what I mean? If you're truly psychotic, then that changes. So I think it just, anyway, I just don't, I think all the mass, when you try to do something in mass, it causes problem because everybody's different. Everybody's in their own world, and it's so vast that it does a injustice or a disjustice or whatever you want to call it to try to group anybody into that, because everybody's their own person. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I really believe that we should get to the core. We get to the root of every discussion or controversy, even though it's not a major controversy for us. We grew up in the South, man. We know all about guns, and unless we had some type of aversion to one, we're familiar with guns and we are desensitized to firearms. Okay, so we're a very small pool, just us three, when we're talking about guns. And uh, I you hit on some points that I think are much deeper, and that is gun control, government intervention, uh, people grouping and classing people. Uh, Now, those are some bigger issues than a gun.
Oh yeah, that's definitely where I'm coming from. I'm just not trying to go. I'm trying to stay on the gun and not just get straight to
No, but,
this foul
but,
ass government. But go ahead.
but that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm in
Yeah,
agreement. It would be easy for us to sit here and talk about whether or not to have a gun, but that's there are so many larger issues that filter down to just a gun that you can't do the conversation justice, because really owning a gun is more of a byproduct or result of something else.
true.
And I here's my goal. Factual is we start looking at things and commenting on what we see, and then logically addressing what we see, as opposed to regurgitating something so-called experts uh, say we should feel or how we should think. I think we should look at we address an issue, and with unpolluted, unblemished trains of thought, and just look at the issue as it is. And I think you did it immediately, son, when you said, the gun is a smaller part of it. What we have is government intervention trying to tell us who and who cannot have a gun by putting us in groups. And that's the problem.
Yeah,
We have been grouped and classed, and we all, for from the time that we've been smaller, been trying to fit in a particular group. And son, you're right. You're a man, and you are a free thinking man, and you should be able to enjoy living. The rich people in this world who control all governments, let's just say it like it is, want to tell you how to think and want to tell you how to feel and want you to jump in one group or another. They create, as you were talking about, the Hegel, pronounce that.
The Hegelian dialectic.
The
The divided, yeah.
But when they're the ones that are introducing the subject on the Hegelian, and then telling you which perspective you are to come from, and you're saying,
what? Let me throw it out there: problem, reaction, solution. Okay, so when your government is providing you with the problem, and then all of a sudden you react to it, but the government is the same person that come with the solution, and the solution is never for your benefit. And this is how they've been running this hustle since before any of us were ever born. They create the problems so that you can react to it. And normally their reaction they look for is fear. So they want you to react in fear. And once you have fear in there, the false evidence appearing real in your mindset, you can no longer think clear. And they can bring you some of the most heinous solutions to your problem that they created that you will accept because you're scared. That is the Hegelian dialectic broke down to basic layman terms. And this is the hustle they run. That's what it is. 100%. I stand by it.
Remember.
The 5th of November.
The 5th of November. The gunpowder, treason, and fight.
Hey, check it. So you said, so we don't go raw with something. So my sister brought something to me the other week. So I want to start with that. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to be 100%, and we're going to tell it like it is. So, Arthariel, if you wouldn't mind, explain to us what happened in your concealed carry class so that we can, as adults, go ahead and express how this is and how in a logical sense.
Okay, let me throw this out because I was going to say we understand that the government has set us up for failure or you can overcome. So we all are on the same page with that. But I think, let's say everybody gets a gun. You get a gun, you get a gun, you get a gun. The difference is, what are your thoughts when you get this gun? Some people are going to say, I have the gun to protect myself. Some people are going to say, I got this gun to kill. Some people are going to say, I just got this gun for just in case reasons. So it's all the mindset behind the person that actually has the gun. What is their intention? A lot of people really have a gun without an intention. And then you have some people that have a gun with very distinct intentions. They know exactly what they want to do. Like people say, the government watching, the government watching, the government watching. Of course we know they're watching. They have a whole list of people that they're watching because they know you're on the internet looking up AR-15s and looking up all this stuff. They know it. But I'm saying, even with that, even though, just think about this, even knowing that these people, and I'm saying, even though they know that these people are on this list or they know that these people are looking at these things, you know, a lot of these people complete the task of what they're trying to do before they actually get these people. Just think about it. A lot of them go and complete the bombing at the what he did, the bombing at the race, at the marathon. He was on the list. I think the guy that killed all the black people in the church, he was on the list. You're not going to get them when you're already watching them. You allow them to complete the task and wish they had their guns and their products in order to do it because they already had their intention.
Can I tell you something about that? I probably told this story. I don't know how many times I told this story, but this story exactly. And it was somebody that I cared about when I was in the military. His name was Sergeant Bright. Now, Sergeant Bright went out on a two Humvee convoy to go patrol the streets, you know, and unfortunately, his Humvee hit a bomb, and him and his 2 soldiers with him did not make it. We lost those 3 soldiers that day. I was really close to Sergeant Bright. That was somebody I actually looked. It ain't one but a few people that I even thought or cared about in that military, but he was one of those few. because he looked out for me. You know, he was a brother that like just kept it real with me. So I felt some kind of way when they rolled over that bun. This unfortunate accident that these people put this bomb here and he accidentally ran over it. Well, after a couple of weeks, come to find out, they after the bomb blew up, they went straight to the people's house who set the bomb. The people that dug the ditch, they went to their house. The people that put the bomb in the hole, they went to their house. The people that covered it up, they went to their house. They knew it all. They had what's called the eye in the sky. They watched it all. They knew what it was. And this government we have, and these people, what their justification was, what we were told was, where we couldn't do nothing until something happened. So Sergeant Bright lost his fucking life, and they knew exactly what as a matter of fact, they sent him down the goddamn street. So our government is very fucked up. And you're right. I bet you every last one of them is on the goddamn list, and they ain't gonna do a goddamn thing till something happens. Why even go and invade people's fucking privacy if you're gonna go let them kill somebody before you do some shit? You know what happened? We had a radar system. We was there. We got mortared every fucking day. Okay? All the time. Bombs just landing everywhere. Unsafe environment, 24/7, 365 while I was deployed in this motherfucker. Do you know we had a radar that tracked every last fucking missile that came in there, and we know exactly where it came from? I worked in artillery. I maintained the vehicles that we used to shoot back at the people when this happened, that matched that system. Every vehicle I maintained was perfect and ready to go. And you know they never fired a fucking shot. But we had fucking damn near 1,000 goddamn rounds landing on that goddamn base I was on. Because guess what? They were missing. They never hit nobody, so we never shot a fucking round. Somebody had to fucking die, even though my life was in danger every day. Fuck the government. I don't give a fuck. You think I trust these? Hell no. So yeah, the Boston people, if they really exist and this shit was true or whatever, of course they knew they was gonna do it, and they wanted them to do it so they can justify some other shit. Fuck. I'm gonna take
Okay, so
somebody else start
let's
talking.
digress from the government. Let's go to just daily shootings. So daily shootings, we got black on black crime, known. White on white crime, known. White on black crime. Every race, nationality, color, whatever wording you want to use, has crime. It is known that usually when something happens to a white person, a Caucasian person, if it's by a different race, it's more broadcasted than any other race. It's known. It's already known. But the thing of it is, we have people just killing for no reason, senseless killings. People that just, I'm mad at you because you ran me off the road. I'm going to shoot. I'm mad at you because you bought the last item off the shelf. I'm going to shoot you. Then you have people that you can really justify their shooting. You can have people that said, hey, they ran up on my house. They ran in my house. They tried to rob me. They tried to do this. They tried to do that. But in the African-American community, no matter what the shooting is, they're going to say it's black on black crime.
I totally agree. Okay, let's talk about the funky media. That's fine. So, well, yeah.
The stats, you know, you got white people talking. The stats are the black on black crime statistically are no different than white on white crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked at the FBI statistics on it. It is very across the board. It's no more or less.
I don't know if you guys are here yet, you know, but live on, you will be. We are talking. These are issues that are of particular interest to us. But I'm gonna give you the sum of it, and this is what I found. There ain't two groups of people.
Rich and poor.
Rich and poor. All of that other stuff, black on black, black, white, red, all this. That is
Systematic divide that's part of the Hegelian dialectic.
distract
Yes, it is.
people and get them on black and white,
Roman circus.
honky, Asian. Just let's have all the people muddle around there, fooling around it. And the fact of the matter is, there have never been richer people at any point in history than what we have now. So much so, we are so persuaded that here we are struggling to pay our rent or our mortgages, working our behinds off to have that piece of that American dream or a place to live. And we will turn on our televisions and we will celebrate and have good times and with people that are really, really rich, when we are very, very poor. Because in this country, if you're not making $30,000 a year, basically, anything under $30,000 a year, you are considered impoverished. And the fact that homelessness, nobody has made this connection about homelessness, how it's increasing, but nobody said because housing and places are increasing. Nobody talks about there is no reason or justification in this life for gasoline or fuel to be as high as it is, other than the fact that some people are making millions and millions of dollars on it being that high.
I think we need to stop. Take the millions out. We're in a different era now. These people are in the billions. They're making billions and billions pop. No bull. There's no point of saying millions. They're making billions and billions.
Everything will filter down to the lowest common denominator is going to be rich or poor. Yeah. That's just the bottom line. If you miss a week's work, makes you late on your rent, you're poor. Somehow or another, we have been brainwashed into believing a set of ideals that this country at no time has ever lived up to. And yet we adhere to them. And the hypocrisy that exists, especially in this society, you pull any guy off the street and poll them, the chances of you hearing something new and never heard of before, slim and none, because they've done sound bites, they've done interviews, and then they put the sound bites together at different places, different interviews, and it's almost verbatim what people say. Because if you've got a national or a central media, it puts it out there and you'll see it. It just filters all the way down. I will say this. There must be poverty to support wealth. There's no other way. When we talk about the American Civil War, they say, they've convoluted that with all these different issues, states' rights and all that, just here. And it all boils down to the only way cotton was profitable is that they had slaves. And without slaves, they couldn't produce the cotton that made those plantation owners more than wealthy. And they were able to do it because they didn't have to pay labor. I walked through and I'm on this, guns, everything. For me, everything falls into rich or poor. And when I'm talking about the true definition of wealth and riches and poverty. Now, let me just go. I went to McDonald's the other day. I took my baby. We poor people, my baby wanted McDonald's and it's an incentive for her. So we will take her to McDonald's. And She may not even eat the food in the Happy Meal. She just wants the toy. I went to McDonald's. Okay. I go through McDonald's. I go through the drive-through like lickety split. Everybody in the place are just happy and can I help you, sir? Oh, happy. Are you having a great day? And I'm this is not like the McDonald's that I remember. I got through there quickly and there was a mix up on my order. I told the person about it, and oh man, she just doing everything she could to correct the thing and was happy and had a big smile on her face. And I said, what the hell is going on at McDonald's? Are they back there doing meth? It dawned on me. They're getting $15 an hour. $15 an hour at full time equates into $30,000 a year. Here is a person that's accustomed to working for $8 an hour, having their pay doubled, and their car payment is going to be a whole lot easier. It's easier for them to make that car payment, or they go to the gas pump. It's easier for them to get the gas. So much has changed for them because they are making $15 an hour. And they're having to pay this money because as a result of pandemic, people are not working for less. They would rather stay at home than to go to an $8 an hour job, because $8 an hour frustrates a worker. They're working hard, working 60 hours a week, trying to borrowing from Peter to pay Paul on $8 an hour, 1 week away from homelessness, probably having to live with their parents. All of this that they're going through, they say, I might as well stay at home. People in such need for people to work that they have bumped up the pay for people to come back to work. Guess what? Unlike what the pundits say, CEOs are making record profits. The economy is bad. The economy is not bad. It can't be. How is a bad economy making people wealthier than they could ever imagine to be? The profits are great.
Let me slide some in here. Let me slide some old basic common sense in this shit, right? You said that the CEO's profits are increasing, right? This is very common.
Doubling, man.
Let me explain something real simple. Once you start paying your fucking employees enough where they can be able to shop in your stores, you're probably gonna get more business. Once they can afford to shop in your stores, you're probably gonna get more business. But the whole time you was undercutting them in pay, they couldn't even shop in your stores. So how are you going to make a profit? Of course, it's doubling. You're giving them money. We're in a consumer-based economy, and we must consume. If they don't have no money to consume, then the economy doesn't go. So, of course, if you give them more money to put in, of course, they don't give it right back to you. That goes without saying. But guess what? You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. And if you don't give them the money to spend, they ain't going to spend it because they ain't got it.
I'm going to throw this into your analogy, son. It's the one that we always say that is a pillar in this program, and it's permanent. If they can't rob it,
they can't rape it,
or murder it, they don't want it. See, greed, the word greed says, I want it all. Not only do I want my share, I want yours too. I would rather sit over here and have too much and you have nothing than for us to both share equally, or a more.
Because y'all done ran off and left me now.
I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. So what's up?
Let me say this real fast. You
Go
said some
ahead.
good. Now you said McDonald's was amazing. That gave you immaculate service, right? And then you talked about poverty and all that. But guess who making these CEOs rich? The same people in poverty.
Yes, exactly.
Same
But that's
people
we
making it
said
rich.
that at the beginning. Jesus told them, this lady, here it is with Jesus. She comes in with the alabaster box and she breaks it. Well, it's two different occasions. People mix them up at one, but it's really two different occasions. But I'm talking about the one where Jesus comments on this particular aspect of it. Here it is. They say Judas Iscariot says, "Oh no, that's way we could have sold that alabaster, which the equivalent in today's dollars about $18,000. She could have sold that, and we would have taken the money and give the poor, than for her to wash her feet." And Jesus corrects Judas Iscariot and said, "Look, you got plenty of time to do for the poor because the poor are always with you. What she's doing is something really, really special. She's commemorating my burial." Okay. Now, there are people that can get into that and just find close in on the fact that, and that, well, Jesus said the poor are going. That's not really. He just said that, but there's a bigger meaning, and that is, as long as there are rich people, there will be poor people. So he could have just as easily said, well, as long as you have poor people, you're going to have rich people. I mean, you have the poor with you always, the rich have you. Why is that? Because there could be no rich without poor. If you start treating poor people like our holy apostle, my holy apostle is the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He is my apostle. He started, before he started anything else, he started the Poor People's Campaign. The media focused on his civil rights issues, but this man was committed to helping the plight of impoverished people first and foremost. Okay, here it is. They told Dr. King, well, these people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Dr. King said, what sense does it make to tell a shoeless man to pull himself up by his bootstraps? And this is the age-old problem. Do you know that where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Pacific Ocean, there's a different color in the water? You ever heard that before? But you can tell right down the middle where there's the Atlantic Ocean, there's the Pacific Ocean, because when they come together, they both have different colors.
Yep.
Rich with the right definition, poor with the right definition, you'll find out this. Sharing, if people who shared, you wouldn't have any poor, you wouldn't have any rich. You know what you'd have? Men and women. That's the bottom line. I think the ultimate evil is greed, avarice, and unspeakable wealth when there's somebody that's suffering abject poverty. And the fact that you are really, really rich because these people are really, really poor, that's a sin, it's a shame, that's the devil, or whatever you want to call it. I have a new way of thinking, which is an old story. And that is, we can discuss these things all day, which we need to, because you have to kind of pull back the layers of an onion to get to its core. Rich and poor, it boils down to it, I guarantee. If you keep pulling layers of that onion, it's going to get back to who's rich and who's poor. And I guarantee a person is rich off the sweat and the blood of someone that's poor.
I want to say that I definitely can't bring any other words to other than yeah, you're right. I agree, but as you talk, it made me think about something, and it was called time. And what I was just thinking about was that I was looking at I was listening to the Bible verses that you were referring to, and what I was seeing is that it is this illusion of time that is construing the Bible, and people are thinking that this was back in that day that they did this. But the truth of the matter is, no, that same exact thing is happening right now. It just has a different name. There are still people trying to do good, but I think a lot of people getting lost in the time aspect of it when it's always right now. So the time of Jesus is the time of now. So to do right by your neighbor never left. I don't care what date you put on it. It was there before, it's here now, and it'll be there tomorrow.
High five me. I mean, come on, booyah, come on.
Yeah. What you want?
Boom,
that.
Son, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You just made my day. Because we're all going around here, son. We have our jobs, and some of us good paying jobs, and we're doing a little bit better than some people are doing, and maybe not as well as some other people, but we're working, and we have our homes, we have our automobiles, our children are well dressed, well fed, all this kind of stuff. And I guarantee, miss a month of work, miss a month of income.
Yeah.
Son, me, like so many other people in this world today, when I went through therapy, I learned this terminology. There are people who are functional alcoholics. They are alcoholics. They drink every day, or they binge drink, or whatever but they're alcoholics. But they go to work every day. They do everything they're supposed to do. They call them functional drunks or functional alcoholics. I was on my way building those steps today, knowing that for the amount of effort I'm putting into this, I'm not going to get near the amount of money. But I'm caught where I kind of need to reach out and get this little change. Dude, I'm functionally poor. I'm functionally impoverished.
Yeah.
You and how many other millions, millions, billions. Right. You and other billions, you are functionally poor. Shit, me too, Dad. Me too, Bible. Shit. I second the motion. I am functionally poor over here. Guaranteed. I agree.
One of the things that I say to that, to kind of keep yourself going, is you are someone's goals. Like where you are right now, someone is trying to get. So you have to be grateful for where you currently are, because someone else is trying so hard to get to the position that you're in. So yeah, that's good. I like that. But I need to roll two things real fast.
Yeah, go ahead, girl.
Originally, we were supposed to be talking about gun violence and stuff. So
it is what it is.
Man, I almost shot somebody today, man.
Let me tell you the rules if you shoot somebody. How you may possibly get out of it, like other races can easily get out of it. So I took the concealed to carry class about 2 years ago, and the class was a class of about 41 people. It was a retired police officer teaching the class, and in the 41 people, there were 4 African Americans in this class. It was me and my friend, another guy who was a veteran, and then there was another guy who was kind of talking to himself, which probably mentally unstable, but they can't stop him from taking the class. So those were the only 4 African American in this class. The rest were an array of white people, all ages. Old formers, you had young girls, you had young boys. But the number one thing that I took out of this class was they said if you shoot somebody, these are the exact words that you say. You shoot them. You immediately call 911. Don't call your mama. Don't call your sister, your friend, your cousin. You immediately call 911. And before that operator can even start talking, you should say, I fear for my life. And if you think of those words, I fear for my life, that's the number one thing. In some of these incidents, the recent incidents, that's all they said, I fear for my life. So they say you fear for my life. I had to do it. You just keep on saying it. And then once they ask you to calm down, then you begin to calm down. And then you say, I shot someone. Please send the ambulance. Send 2 ambulances. Send one for them and one for me because I'm shaking up. I don't know how I did this. So he basically said, protect yourself by saying these exact words. And after he said that, I was thinking in my head, do what? Like, what did you do? What? You want
Wait,
to say?
hold on. Hold on.
No.
You should have said, yeah, you killing me, and that's what you saying and getting away with all my people.
Wait a minute, Pop, hold on. Say,
hold on, but you know what? What is the RRA? What is the American
NRA.
Right?
NRA.
Yeah, the lady came right behind him to tell us about the insurance and everything, and she said, he's right. You say those exact words. You do not deter from those words. And if we look at a class of 41 people and only 4 people black, their percentage is 95% white. That clearly is saying all these people have this information. Our people don't have this information. So even though we could have been in a situation fighting for our life, we didn't know how to properly deal with it, how to properly call 911. You know, in your household right now, a lot of people don't do it, but what you should do is talk to your family about an escape route. Talk to them about what happens with the fire. Sometimes you may have to go through the drills, but your child knows right now if there's a fire or something to do what? Call 911. They know to call 911 if there's a fire. They teach you that in school. They teach you that everywhere around the world. You call 911 if there's fire. But who done told us what to do if we shoot somebody?
Hold on. Before we go into that question, I have to rewind this and we got to do a recap because I heard some things, but I'm not sure I heard what I thought I heard. I got to make sure. Okay, let me start this. So, retired cop. Am I correct? Retired. I don't give a damn what his rank is. So he was retired. So he was old. He been on the force for a while, right?
Oh yeah.
And he was given a concealed carry class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you just so happen to bust a cap in somebody, shoot someone, murk somebody, kill someone, put a guy on their ass and put holes in them, Swiss cheese them, motherfucker, all those cool terms. It doesn't matter. Wait a minute. He didn't say that. I'm just giving every term I can think of for people to get this for the term of murdering somebody. He didn't say anything about what your reasoning was. The reason why you shot him did not come up at this point, correct?
Well, we talked about self-defense. It should be in self-defense, but you have some cases where it's not always particularly self-defense, but it should be self-defense or if you fear for your life.
Okay, what I'm asking you is, he said at the point that you shot somebody, the point that, like, okay, let's add those into murder. Let's go ahead and add self-defense. I feared for my life, those two. So at that point, at the point that you've shot someone and killed them, his direction was, this is a retired police person, right? Was that you should immediately call 911. And before the woman could even utter words out her mouth, say, I feared for my life.
Yes.
Okay. And and after you've repeated this to the point where she's like, okay, this person is hysterical, calm down. Then you roll into your mode of, okay, she said the words now. Okay. So in self-defense, I
Right.
had to shoot someone. Please send an ambulance. No, no, no. As a matter of fact, send two.
Two.
Because I don't want them to die. And I'm so shaken up, I don't know what to do. I was so scared.
Yes.
So I can go murk a motherfucker tomorrow is what you're telling me about.
I didn't tell you that.
I know you didn't tell me that. I'm asking you a question. Can I go shoot
No,
tomorrow and
you
possibly get away with that?
The point that she made, we have empirical data to support what she said.
Yeah.
And let's look at this. Let's just
before you go in on me, I was just joking. I was just trying to bring relief to a very effed up situation. Go ahead.
But what she said is so true. You know, when you look at these the killing of several unarmed poor African Americans, this is what these people said, and basically got off with slaps on the wrist. Look at the woman here in Dallas, the cop. She goes in this man's apartment, who is a whole floor different from hers, goes into his apartment. This man is eating his Haagen-Dazs, eating ice cream. There's a woman comes into his apartment, comes gun, brandishing her firearm, comes in here to this man, and she shoots him dead. And her argument was, I was in fear for my life.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know a Texas Ranger who happened to have pigment as well said when he was coming at her, she was in fear of her life. She was in his apartment, off duty, man eating ice cream, getting ready to watch his favorite show, and he's gunned down dead. They slap her on the wrist. They give her 10 years. They hug and slobber and kiss all over her. Even the judge comes down, and loves her, gives her a Bible, and now her case is up for appeal because she doesn't think the 10 years was even fair. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Hey, let me caveat now.
I'm glad let me finish this one because I'll forget if I don't say. Let me say this one, and then this boy during the Black Lives Matter protest, he illegally, him illegally.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Carrying his Mach AR, goes into an area. He's underage. He's only 17 years old. Goes in with a AR that supposedly wasn't his. Goes in there to help a business person to protect his business. He goes in there, kills 3 people, and what does he say on the stand? I'm in fear of my life. Boy gets off. I was in fear of my life. Even though I went there to shoot niggas, I was in fear of my life.
Well, I just want to say this.
The judge throws out every other reason, and it filtered down. The only thing was he was in fear of his life. All these other aspects, judge wouldn't even hear that. Go ahead, son.
Well, I do got to add this in there. First, let's be factual. He didn't kill no niggers. He killed Caucasian people. And that's how they caveat. I just want to throw that in there. Now, we know what he came to do, but them one of the people he actually killed. So medically, you can't really say that. We understand what you're saying, but you can't really say that because the people he killed were not. I just want to point that out. And Also, never. Oh my God. So I don't know enough about the case
We're talking
to
about
go.
killing, but think about the people that's just mad at you for walking in their neighborhood and they ain't shot you, but they called 911 because you parked in a parking spot or you at the grocery store. And when they call,
Armand Aubrey. Armand Aubrey.
No,
how
this just happened in
historical,
Louisiana. Girl, I saw the story. Go ahead and run that. They
how
was illegally parked
historical,
at 9 in the morning.
just the fact of
Oh
when
God.
they
Yeah.
call how historical, that's not the word.
Hysterical.
That's the word. How hysterical they be when they be on their phone before 911 operator could even say anything. And you know what's the first thing they say when they get them come?
I
I'm
fear
in fear for my
for
life.
my life. That's the word. So
So, okay,
we get the
guys, as
no.
official timekeeper and recorder, I need to let you know you got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So in it, but that's what it is though. She just showed you this is what I want to get out. I just wanted to kind of loosen up the vibe, but let's be real right here. In these last 5 minutes, I want to say this. A retired police officer stated to the concealed carries that was 90% Caucasian and 10% other that after you have shot someone, you should immediately call 911 and say that you feared for your life. With us, come on, we have to be conscious people and realize that this has been said so many times that you gotta understand that they're using this against us. And 90% of those people know it with only 10% of us knowing. So please spread the word that it ain't all about having a camera when these people fear for their life. We've seen that just because you got a video camera and they see that is not a factor. They're letting you know that the fear for your life can get your black ass killed.
I would
I'm just gonna keep it a bean. The
I would advise
fear,
one if you can to take a class just so you have that under your belt. You have your license. You know what they told you. He even went as far as saying, if if you get in this situation, somebody try to rob you or something, and you call 911 and everything goes through, you have his number. You can call him, and they're going to call him when you pull out your license and confirm that you have the license. You completed the class, the whole nine.
Well, thanks to our great governor here in Texas, Greg Abbott, in November of 2021, I don't have to take class. I don't have to. I don't have to get no kind of permit. I have what they call constitutional carry. So uh, I'm black in America. I'm always in fear of
Hmm.
my.
so hey, look, I do
Your fear
believe
doesn't outweigh their fear.
oh, the way of fear, huh?
Hmm.
Look, this is already caveating into another meeting of the minds. To be honest with you, we do try to keep to a time, but we definitely have. This is definitely an open discussion that needs further debate and discussion for sure. I mean, I think we need to come back at another time and revisit this because I don't even think we halfway there with what's going on with our government or gun control or media. They one and the same. To be honest with you, we say a lot of things. It's all one thing. This head of this snake actually has a bunch of heads. To be honest with you, that's the truth. There's no one head to cut off because it has so many multiple heads. But the one body of it, you know what I'm saying, is there. So we're gonna have to tackle this. We couldn't even go gun control without bringing government or media in there because it's all part of the same body of this serpent that we have to deal with in a sense. You know what I mean?
Before
Well,
we I just want to say one quick thing. Since we're talking about guns and killing, one of the other things I want to bring up, I know we won't be able to talk about it today, but insurance, life insurance, assets, and who do you have assigned if something happened to you today? And what do you want? What are your arrangements? Those are things that we need to start thinking about because tomorrow is not promised.
Amen. I
I
think
agree.
that should be on our list of things when we finish this up. I think we really should talk about that because I have made it my business to be uh to be one of those people that's in the campaign for poor people. I'm functionally poor, and any issue that relates to us functionally poor folks, you know, I'm all about it. And I'm really big into the mental health issue because something that little sister said when she was on, you know, the creator made us beautiful and he made us perfectly fit for what we were sent on this planet to do. And um, he never meant for us to languish in prisons and in poverty and in disease and definitely not poor mental health. So any cause, any cause that wants to help promote better health spiritually, because I really believe that a healthy mind and a healthy body make a righteous soul.
So, on a going out note, pops, as we leave our as we leave the viewers, why don't you go ahead and hold up that bottle of water to Thyra since we got her here, and let her lead us out.
Lead us out. Here's mine. I went right on out and got mine.
I got my natural order. I got. We want to say thank you to the viewers. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us on today. Y'all go be great and shit.